Health Canada and Veterans Affairs are releasing a children's coloring book about euthanasia. Ever read 1984? If you haven't, you don't need to. Just look at our government. I swear, Health Canada was literally ripped right off the pages of that book and planted in Ottawa. Releasing a children's coloring book for euthanasia isn't just wrong, it's clinically insane. You can't even argue with those people who authorized its creation and release, just as you can't argue with a madman. They're taking what's totally abnormal and trying to make it normal. They're taking what's totally insane and they're trying to make it sane. And if we think that's bad enough, just wait until you read what's actually inside the book. It even lays out the procedure for euthanasia for every child to color and see. Here's what it says, quote, "The person having made will get 3 different medicines. The first medicine makes the person feel very relaxed and fall asleep. The second medicine causes a coma. It's much deeper than regular sleep. The third medicine makes the person's lungs stop breathing and then their heart stops beating. It does not hurt," end quote. How can they call these drugs used to administer euthanasia medicine? You can't call those drugs medicine any more than you can call cyanide medicine. What a perverted and twisted misuse of language. And that's the point. The whole lesson of Abolition of Man in 1984 is that the corruption of language is the corruption of thought. In 1984, the Ministry of Truth is actually an agency of lies. The Ministry of Peace is actually an agency of war. And the Ministry of Plenty is actually the agency of famine. In our country, Health Canada is transforming into an agency of death. Men are now afraid that hospitals are where they go to die, and poison is being called medicine. More than that, how are we supposed to think that just because a children's coloring book tells us that euthanasia is, quote, or euthanasia, quote, does not hurt, it's suddenly moral and acceptable? Does Health Canada honestly believe, and do they honestly believe that we're so foolish as to think that just because something is painless, it's automatically a moral thing to do? A person's ended their life, Health Canada says, but it didn't hurt, so it's fine, acceptable, and moral. We take exception to the fact that euthanasia, the final defeat, the abolition of hope, is being normalized. It's not normal, and we're never going to admit that it's normal. But we take even greater exception when that agenda is shoveled onto our children. There are no words or combination of words in the vernacular to express how objectively evil it is to teach children that euthanasia is normal in these leaders' Huxleyan-like future. But to Health Canada and Veterans Affairs and our government and any other institution that wants to promote euthanasia or something like this, the Lord Jesus Christ has a warning directly from the scriptures of Matthew chapter 18, verses 5 and 6. "And whoever welcomes a little child like this, in my name welcomes me. But if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea."